No, it's very late. I haven't even spoken for many hours. Let me have a look at the time. The time is unfathomable, but with a click of the mouse I can... Oh gosh, how do you fix that? It doesn't matter. The time is now. And the now time that we come to talk about is getting serious. Seriously good beer. So reaching an epoch in time. Is an epoch or an epoch? Escape. It's always a good key. It has never worked in the past, but holy fuck. I mean, holy pop. It's 2:38 a.m. That's not what I intended. I was seriously going to be in bed by like whenever I got there. I seriously intended to get there by then, and since I haven't got there by now, I wasn't very serious about it. I'm just going to take these glasses off for a moment, because at this time of night, it is pretty tired time of night. And it's been a pretty good ongoing great time of the continuous now. I just keep moving my eyes from side to side and see if that helps. No, don't make any difference. I just don't look at the camera. It's this. If I made up that word, I'd never live it down. I tend to make up words as I need them, as a cunning linguist that I am. Yeah, a lot of people take me to task on that, because they see me as some sort of fucking moron. Which, don't get me wrong. I love it when somebody calls me a fucking moron, because the person who has the ability to eloquate such linguistic terms from their own mouth means they're expressing something from deep inside of themselves. And so whatever it was they were calling me before, which at this time of night escapes me like a very fast escapey thing. It's merely a projection of their own inner self. I mean, surely. Sorry, I didn't mean to call you. I just called you Shirley because I didn't mean to call you sorry. I do need to have a drink about that one, because that's doing my head in now if I started saying sorry, Shirley. Because Shirley, I'm not the sorry at all. What I'm trying to say is that if you're trying to express an opinion to somebody else who you do not really know, but you want to make it very, very clear how you feel about them. Sorry for the and stuff, but it just happens. So deal with it. I hate that. I fucking hate. All right. So if you've got a problem with it, you know what you're dealing with is something from within yourself. And if that is disturbing you, if it really disturbs you, I mean, if it makes you angry, good. Get really angry, because you are looking inside yourself. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not exactly the best term for it, but we'll just use it for now because we're dealing with something we've been suppressing for a long time, like that little burp that just came out. We've been suppressing something within ourselves. So at the end of the day, well, I've got a little thing to reveal. The day never ends. Because at this moment in time, according to the time on that thing, oh, there it is. I was just trying to edit a picture, but it's ineditable. Ineditable. That's far better than inedible. Uneditable. Ineditable. I can't edit it, and it is 2:44 a.m. Big whoop, you know, like especially for some of these people that have no life. In fact, in another 44. In less than an hour. This is when I would have got up this morning, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Have a beer. She's all good, mate. But we're going to get back to this because we have to eventually get back to this projection. Projectionism. Projectors. The people who are putting an opinion upon you, what they profess to feel about you, how they feel when they look at you like you're looking at me right now. What you're doing is you're projecting. See, okay, I can't say I without saying I've got an ego. I have an ego. I am egotistical. There you go. I've said it out loud. I go into places like Mr. Psy-Man Dammed and project my ego. Yes, that's right. Because the ego that comes from within me is my God's self projecting outwardly from me, but without judgment. That is the key. Like, I can look at absolute fuckwits because that's not a judgment. That's just an observation, you know. Like Psy-Man Dammed, and can see that, you know, the poor guy has issues, and I care for him. I care. Not a lot, but, you know, I fucking care. And so, within several hours, tops, of me making a comment on his channel, there's like hundreds of responses. And all these people that are projecting their insecurities upon me and calling me this, that, blah, blah, and all the other, I feel sorry for you poor little people because you're projecting. I am the instigator. I make a comment and I bring this out of you. I bring it out. I just say, right. I just, crikey, that didn't work. Go back one. That's better. I don't know how this happened. It's late at night. That's how it happened. You are not telling me anything about me. You are telling me how you feel about yourself. Like, this is me. This is pure me. I hope this shows because it won't work otherwise. That innocent young soul who I started off is still me. I haven't changed. I am still that little young innocent soul. I just grew a man's body and had to deal with the world of humanity with that little fella. This beautiful little fella. Let me click on that as well, just to see, just to make sure. Can we expand it any bigger? Yes, we can. That little fella. That's what I'm going to look like when I'm about... haven't got as many teeth left by that stage. By my reckoning, I'll look like that by about 998. I know there's not many people that are able to live up with that. But you don't know how long I've actually been around for. 1971. Yeah, well, this reincarnation. I was onto something, wasn't I? Yeah. The people that like to comment in posts. When you make a post, you are literally projecting. You are presenting a piece of yourself, who you want to present yourself to me as. And so when you start calling me all sorts of names under the sun, I'm just looking at you as, okay, that's your level of maturity. This is where you're at. This is where you need some help. So sometimes I deal with you kindly. Other times I just say, you know, like what you do. Fuck you. You're an asshole. And yet I know. It's bad because I know that you're automatically going to defend. And so, you know, reverse psychology actually works far better. But sometimes I just like in-your-face psychology to say, yeah, no, you are a fuckwit. And every now and then, I've actually seen one or two incidences where a person will go, oh yeah, I am a fuckwit. Because somebody knows what they're talking about. Could it be me? Oh, you know what? The more I be me, the more people want to reject me. So what I do is... What else can you do? What would you do if you were actually like flat Earth Aussie Jesus? I know. Let's be flat Earth Aussie Jesus. That will really fuck with people's heads. Because the people who love Jesus, well, they're just like, who the fuck's this impersonator? Impersonator? Who the fuck's this impersonator? In person? And then the ones who really reject Jesus will just say, your battery power's now at 15%, charge your phone or tap here to turn on. Because they're so fucking level-headed. Actually, that wasn't what they were going to say, but I saw a sign. So at the end of the day, what are you left with? What are you left with? You're left with, I'm waiting for the real Jesus to come and save me, and I reject you. There is no real Jesus, and I reject you. But I saw a sign and it said 15%. Charge your battery. Let's just look at me as a child. Now that I've drank that beer, I think it's safe to say it's bedtime. Or it could be awake time. This is where you get to make a choice. I'm not a gambling man. I'll put my money on the fact the flat is Earth. I will put my money, every last cent I have, on the fact that the Earth is flat and stationary. And you know why? Because I'm not. I am not a gambling man. I will not gamble. I will take safe-ish bets. I will put a little bit here and a little bit there just for fun and games. But when it comes down to gambling my life, I'll just keep it in my pocket. That is why I will gladly take on any bet with any globe earther who would like to take on a challenge which can be verified in the court of law should it come down to it, between lawyers and a judge. I will put down any amount of money to say that you cannot prove rotundity of the Earth, and the evidence that I can have against it to prove it is flat will win in any court of law. And as it stands at this moment in time, I have $12,000 in cash, and give me a few more weeks, I will pretty much come close to doubling that. Let's just call it a $10,000 bet. If that's what you are prepared to put up. Because I know I couldn't take on that bet previously because I didn't have the $10,000. Now I have the $10,000. Now I can take on that bet. I can take on that challenge. And we'll both put our $10,000 into a secured, whatever the fuck they call it. $20,000 will sit there. And the person who makes the challenge now, he will front all of, or she, or they, or them, whatever. Oh yeah, I'm not discriminatory against your quantity or your preconceived genders, whatever. Whatever you preconceive yourself to be, whether you be 1, 2, 3, 4, or multiple number of humans, if you want to challenge against that and can accrue the same amount of money to put against into the non-biased pledge holder, and then any further costs accrued above and beyond that shall be met by the loser. Because I know that there's plenty of you losers out there who are so sure the earth is a globe that you will front up all sorts of money knowing that at the very least you're going to get 10 grand from me should you prove me should you prove your case more conclusive than mine. So let's do this. I'm happy to do this. I will put $10,000 down for any globe earth believer willing to pay all expenses to try and prove their case. And if I can prove my case against you in the court of law, you will forfeit that $10,000 plus you will pay all costs. I'm happy to do that. Come on. Bring it. Because, hey, look at that innocent face. I've got no idea. No idea how that looks when I hold that there, but I assume it looks almost as good as this. You have my word. You've got my oath. Now let's see yours. Let's sign some papers. Let's do this. Let's settle this once and for all. Because I know the earth is flat. And your delusions are going to make me a lot of money. And I'm not even in it for the money. For fuck's sakes. I mean, for St. Francis of Assisi's sakes, is what I actually said. You just weren't listening properly. Okay, you've seen it here, you've seen it now. This is your challenge. Any globe earther. From, the bottom of the barrel, like Team Skeptic and Flight the Flat Earth. The lowest of the low, up to like the Neil deGrasse Tysons and any other Hollywood actors. If anyone wants to challenge me on this to prove that the earth is a globe, I will stand by my word. I will take you on as flat earth. Well, I use a few YouTube names now. My real name, Ross Edward Thatcher. I will take you on. Flat Earth Aussie Jesus. Flat Earth Aussie Roscoe. Doesn't matter. In the court of law, I will use my real all caps name, Ross Edward Thatcher. I doubt any of you would even have the balls to go that far, but it's okay. We'll do that anyway, because you see how much fear I got behind me? Good towel. I'll tell you what I'm afraid of. I'm afraid that there will be nobody to take me up on this challenge. Not one. Psy-Man Dammed. Michael McToo. Quake McNeil. What's your other cartoon boyfriend? God damn, whatever his name is. Oh, Time Skeptic. My name's Time Skeptic. I don't really have a real name, but you can call me Time Skeptic. There's so many of you fucking idiots. God, you're a dime a dozen. Put your money where your fucking mouth is, and let's do this once and for all. Once and for all. I know I've got a few people behind my back too, like the Globe Busters. They've been one of my greatest inspirations, even when they still had the mall guy with them. I love you, John. Like, you know, you're a good man, I reckon. It doesn't matter if we succumb to whatever we succumb. You're a good man. You know, Bob, Jaron. They got that new guy, whatever his name is, from Texas. What's it, got it, or something. You know, they're good people. Mark Sargent, I think he's a good bloke. Patricia Steer, I think he's a good bloke. I didn't mean that like that. Sorry, Patricia. I think you're a lovely lady. So many. The big one that I give out to is ODDTV. As far as I'm concerned, ODDTV is the man. Like, okay, he's a bloke. He makes channels, makes content, but he does it really well. And I think he's really authentic. You know, like we've got Eric Dubais and stuff. I question his authenticity. Yeah, he's onto something. Don't get me wrong. He spread a lot of truths, but yeah, some don't vibe right with him. But it's cool. It's cool. You know, like if 80% of what you spread is the truth, then that's still 80% truth. That wasn't spread beforehand when it was only like 0.8% truth. So good on you, Eric. And you actually opened my eyes up to how flat the world is. You just got it totally wrong about the moon. And there are many others. Many others. Many others. Wakey wakey. We're the band too. Off the top of my head though, that's it because it's nearly 3 a.m. so that's a 24-hour gig for me. And my home beer is doing its trick. So I'm just gonna stop this and upload it because I do not edit any of my videos. That's the one thing. Okay, so there's always going to be somebody who's going to go back and find one or two videos that I edited. That's because I was doing a course. Well, I was unlicensed because circumstances. I don't edit my videos. I record, and the most editing I'll ever do is hit pause while I'm making it. So I'm authentic. That's one thing you can say about me. If nothing else. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If the Earth turns out to be a spinning ball in outer space with some sort of atmosphere contained by the pull of the mass of the Earth greater than the vacuum of space that we're spinning through at multiple millions of hours, then if I get proven wrong, so be it. But I've got something up here. A lot of the globers like to deny it because it's hard to see what's in here. And that's what it comes out of here. And sometimes I'm not so good at letting it come out of here. But what's in here? I have the model. And given time and ingenuity and the ability to make videos, it's coming out. And it's unstoppable. You cannot stop an idea whose time has come. Let that sink in. It's getting cold outside. Just let it in. All right. I love you. I love you all. Deluded people, awakened people. Doesn't matter. Everything is happening for a reason. And when you realize that reason, you just go, and you just want to smack me on the bum. And so I'm going into full-time bum paddle making business. Not out of leather though, just entirely leather. Ah, fuck it, we'll just make it bare oak. Camphor. I love you all. Just have a laugh. The only one's gonna pat on my on their ass. She knows who she is. Love you, Rusty. Okay, talk to you all soon.